In Black America, we are noticing something, not only that after the 2024 election, that we said that, okay, we're taking a step back. We are assessing the landscape. We're not running out there to save nobody unless we would go come out here and to save ourselves. People attacked us for that, said we were selfish, we were wrong. You know, it's not about just you. And yes, it is about you. It is about me as FBA, right? We have never prioritized ourselves. We've always felt that we got to go out here and make sacrifice after sacrifice, and maybe in the sweet by and by, people will be okay with us. But what we have actually done by saying, you know what, everybody on their own, you do your thing, we do our thing, right? What we have done is finally respect ourselves. We're respecting ourselves because now we're taking care of self. Because as we talked about on the other stream with the Ashley Gonzalez situation, it just took 2 days with us mobilizing and getting together all on social media and also in the street to make something happen. Didn't take long at all. Even they were trying to do backroom deals. We as a community need to continue that momentum and continue to let other groups know, don't look this way, because we have so many issues and problems in Black America. We have an issue with the Black preacher. We need to mobilize against him. And I know that fight is going to be very hard because a lot of Black people, unfortunately, have an affinity for that Black preacher. They don't look at what is his works, like the Lord. The Lord is going to judge him based on his works and what he's doing. And if your preacher is not out here like Jesus was, listen, being a Christian is being a follower of Christ, right? If you are a follower of Christ, what did Christ do? He wasn't in the temple every day and all days, every Sunday, doing revivals and all of that. He was out in the street. He was visiting the sick. He was performing miracles. He was preaching to the people. His disciples, when he was on the earth, they was out there in the street. They wasn't in the temple. The work is out there. But this preacher is just sitting in the church house, collecting money, got the nerve to say, lock the doors, close the doors, because some people need to donate $1,000. I mean, the craziness that's being said. You're not raising $1,000 to say because we want to start a nice daycare center for our children. You're not raising $1,000 to say because this community need a clinic, this community need a hospital, this community need a supermarket, or we can get good food. You're not raising money for any of that. That's helping out the community. You raising money talking about a building fund that never ends. We have been having a problem. We got to address these issues. And I told y'all before, we are great at mobilizing, fighting against racism. We're great at that. But we are horrible at fighting the internal enemies of Black America. And I'm going to always preach that Black politician and that Black preacher, that's our two greatest enemies within. It's not the quote unquote hood rat. It's not even quote unquote the thugs. It is that politician and that preacher, because both of them work a white supremacy to maintain the status quo. The Congressional Black Caucus goes everywhere else but to the Black communities. You can look at them and tell they are the elite class. They ain't coming around regular Black people. We got to clean this up, brothers and sisters. We got to. And we can easily clean up that politician. But the only way we can do that, like Julius Malema said about the EFF a long time ago, if you're not registered to vote, how you going to be a part of the EFF? Everybody got to vote, because how we going to move things? How we going to get things done? And in Black America, we all need to be registered to vote so we can go make moves in our city, in our county, in our state. Because the greatest politics is local. And we got to not look at the Democrat Party. We got to start saying, hey, this brother's smart, this sister's smart. We riding with them. They from the grassroots. We got to have grassroots politicians who are not going to turn when they get in office. Basically, it's like this. We got to have somebody that when they get in and they're going to say, oh, you can't do this. And then that kind of person like, hey, man, I got a phone call from this person telling me what I can't do. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm about to do. You got to have that kind of person in office who will get some things done. And especially in cities where black people are dominant, it's no excuse for black people not to get things. Let's call it what it is. There's no excuse for black people not to get reparations in black-dominated cities. It said like Detroit, very black-dominated city. It don't make sense why Detroit don't do reparations. It don't make sense a city like Atlanta don't do reparations. Let's give you an example. Any city like that should be able to do reparations on a local level. You understand? We have seniors who are struggling. And these black politicians and black preachers not trying to help the seniors in our community. We're going to have to do a hard reset in this community, brothers and sisters. The same intensity that we take against the Ashley Gonzalez of the world and the white supremacists of the world is the same intensity that we got to take to this preacher and to this politician. And yes, we're going to have to fight through a good horde of people who are lost in our community because you're lost. If you believe in that politician, that Democrat black politician, and think they're a good guy, a good lady, you believe in the boule, you believe in this black preacher, after 60 years, you are lost. And we gotta make sure the agenda get done. Because all those entities I'm talking about wants to keep the status quo. The status quo is they get a check for keeping you at the bottom. We would not be where we at right now if everybody was on code. Once again, notice the boule didn't say nothing about Ashley Gonzalez, did they? Not a now one of them. The black preachers wasn't coming out, even they wasn't. Now you had one black preacher. Let me be fair. There was one black preacher here in Houston that said something. One. You know how many black preachers you got here in Houston? Plenty. Why is it only one black preacher said something? That don't make sense. All them black politicians, they should have been out there. Should have been saying something. If anything, get on their platform. All of them got social media. Get on their platform and say their piece and how they feel and what's not going to be tolerated and what they going to do in their capacity to make sure this don't happen even again. We as a community got to start enforcing that on these black politicians and tell them if you're not going to do for black people, you're going to be out of there. Election day is coming. Let me tell you something. Midterms is coming. All of you need to be registered to vote. All of you. You can talk all day online and go in on them, but if you're not registered to vote, sometimes we got to do a protest vote. Sometimes, and the greatest way to get rid of people is in the primary. I told y'all that's the best way to get rid of people. And when they have early voting, go do early voting the first day, the first weekend. Go do it then. What people did here in Texas, they wanted to wait till the day of to vote. I don't know why anybody would wait till the day of to vote. And it was so much confusion because you had to vote in your precinct. You couldn't vote wherever you wanted, like you used to. But early voting, you can vote wherever you wanted to. There may be candidates who we may need to run from the grassroots. And we got to all be registered to vote so we can vote for them and also try to put some money in their pocket. At least shoot $20, $30 so they can do their campaign. And local elections are actually more winnable. It just depends on where you're at. Now, I know when you're in the bigger cities like we are here, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But some smaller towns, you know what I'm saying? People got to come out to vote if we want to change America. Because we don't have no other country that we are part of. So we got to make it work right here. A lot of brothers and sisters coming back to the South. You need to get involved too. This is our time to do for self now. And the Democrat Party, they are nervous about this. Why? Because they need us dependent on them. With Democrats, you probably could have had that if you'd done right by black people, but you never have. You're no different than the Republicans. You're always talking about how racist the Republicans are. You are the same. Because both of you want to maintain white supremacy, white privilege. Both of you. Democrats not trying to end that. When have you ever heard the Democrat Party talking about, yeah, we get in office, we're going to end white supremacy. We're going to end discrimination. We're going to end white privilege. You ever heard the Democrats ever saying that? No. Why? Because it benefits them. They don't want to get rid of the system. Listen, it's not that black people saying we want to take over. No. We just say we want an equal system where everybody's treated fair and just equally. But to those who have been oppressive, equality feels like oppression. That's the thing. When we hear equality, we're thinking, hey, that's equal justice for all. When they hear equality, they hear you dragging me down. You taking me off of the throne that I built for myself and putting me at the bottom with you. I don't want that. I want to maintain this white supremacy. This is why Democrats can go vote for a Republican. All that mess about they don't like Republicans, please. White Democrats will go vote for a Republican in a minute if they felt that Republican was better at maintaining white supremacy. That's why I don't get caught up in that Democrat-Republican talk. Don't ever get caught up in that. Just like you don't get caught up in no religion talk when it comes to them either. If you get caught up in party talk and religion talk, they got you. They got you. You like a hamster on a wheel. You're going to be just spinning. You're not going nowhere with it. Oh, they love you to talk about religion and political party. Now, when you hear me talking about the Democrat Party, I'm talking about in relation to our people. Not them, our people. If I can just educate and speak to enough people, even if I get 1, 2 a day to open their eyes and realize, man, you know what? I may not agree with what he said, but he was right about the Democrat Party. I looked into it. And that's all I want to do, look into it. And because I don't have no emotional ties to nothing. It saddens me to watch black people be so emotional about a political party that haven't even gave you reparations. I could understand if they handed us reparations checks. Maybe I can understand it a little bit more because, hey, they actually gave you a tangible. They're not trying to give tangibles to Black America. And yet you are so tied at the hip, that don't even make sense. That's why it's easy to say no tangibles, no vote for me. Because I'm not tied at the hip with you. And of course the Boule and the rest of them are going to be upset by it because they're getting paid to keep us down. Yo, I'm going to beat that in your head. They're paid to keep us down. They're paid to do it. That's why your Al Sharptons don't push reparations like that in the form of cash payments, because he get paid heavily to keep us down. And I'm sorry, I'm not wicked like that. I'm sorry, I'm not. I can't say, oh, give me money and I'm a harm black people. I can sleep well at night knowing that I'm taking a bunch of money and I'm going to just purposely harm the rest of you just so I can get paid. Because I'm sorry, I don't have to harm people to get paid. I can get paid money. It may be a lot slower, but I'd rather go the slow route and keep my soul and my conscience intact than just taking all this money and now I got to serve them by keeping you down. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. If I got to get money that way, I'm sorry, I just don't need to do it. I don't need to have it. I'll figure something else out. Because at the end of the day, I got to look at my life and what I've done and what I said. And when I go before God, I don't want him saying like, okay, so you took money and you at the expense of people, you harmed my children. And you knew it was wrong because I was telling you and reminding you all the time when you were doing this wrong. And you still kept doing it. They think God gonna be pleased with that. God is pleased with your integrity, that you're not gonna harm people so you can get ahead. But people got reverend in front of their name and all kind of other doctor in front of their name and anything else, but they don't have a problem harming black people, man, or anybody for that matter. We as FBA gotta definitely clean house within our own community. Once we deal with that black preacher and that black politician, I promise you, our whole community would change literally overnight. Because even if we got reparations tomorrow, we still would have a problem because that black politician, that black preacher has caused us so many problems. And we're going to solve it. We're going to solve it because I'm going to be one of the brothers crying in the wilderness to you that is our central focus and central problem is that. Because once we fix that, we're good. And we got to fix that. Our kids can't be dealing with this. But brothers and sisters, think about it. We in a great time in history as black Americans, and we're going to figure this thing out. But we got to deal with the those who are trying to be literally an enemy within. We got to deal with them first. Once we deal with them,